Retail inventory. It is a term that refers to the goods in various stages, or it is a current asset on a company balance sheet. There are three stages of completion of retail inventory. First, finished goods. Second, work in progress. Third, raw materials. It is an accounting method used to estimate the value of store merchandise. The retail method provides the ending inventory balance for a store by measuring the cost of inventory relative to the price of merchandise. Along with sales and inventory for a period, the retail inventory uses the cost to retail ratio. Retail inventory method calculation. To calculate the cost of ending inventory using the retail inventory method, we have to follow some steps. Step first. Calculate the cost to retail percentage, for which formula is cost divided by retail price. Second, calculate the cost of goods available for sale, for which the formula is cost of beginning inventory plus cost of purchase. Third step, calculate the cost of sales during the period, for which formula is sales multiply cost to retail percentage. Fourth step is calculate ending inventory, for which the formula is cost of goods available for sale minus cost of sale during the period. Beginning inventory $10 lakh, purchases $18 lakh, goods available for sale $28 lakh. Now we have to find the sale during the period, for which the formula is sales multiply cost to retail percentage, which is $24 lakh into 70%, and the final value of sale during the period is 16 lakh 80,000. Now we have to find out the ending inventory, for which the formula is cost of goods available for sale minus cost of sale during the period, and the final ending inventory is 11 lakh 20,000. The drawbacks of retail inventory. First, the retail inventory method is only an estimate. Results can never compete with the physical inventory count. Second, the retail inventory methods only works if you have a consistent markup across all products. Third, the method assumes that the historical basis for the markup percentage continues into the current period. If the markup was different, as may be caused by an after holiday sale, then the results of the calculation will be inaccurate.
Management of inventories. First, the management of the inventory means blocking of funds, and so it involves the interest and opportunity cost to the firm. Second, the inventory cost is not only interest on stocks but also cost of store building for storage, insurance, and movement of input from place of storage to the factory where the material has to be finally used to convert them into finished goods. For example, industries in Japan has adopted concept of JIT, that is just in time, and components materials are received when required, for which detailed instructions are given to suppliers. As against this, issue in India is that the inventory of coil, raw material and packaging material is very high, and many items become junk or causing heavy loss to the enterprises, and the lack of the inventory planning made the investment in inventories quite high. So, in this case, the first requirement is to study lead time between the date of order and receipt in the factory.
The objective of inventory management. The objective of inventory management are as follows. First, to ensure a continuous supply of materials and stocks so that production should not suffer at the time of customers' demand. Second, to avoid both overstocking and understocking of inventory. Third, to maintain minimum working capital as required for operational and sales activities. Fourth, to keep material cost under control as they contribute to reducing the cost of production. Fifth, to eliminate duplication in ordering stocks. 6. To ensure everlasting inventory control so that materials shown in stock ledgers should be physically lying in the warehouse. 7. To ensure the quality of goods at reasonable prices. 8. To facilitate furnishing of data for short and long-term planning with a controlled inventory. 9th, to supply the required material continuously. And 10th, to maintain a systematic record of inventory.
Problem faced by inventory. First is to maintain a large size inventories for efficient and smooth production and sales operation. Second is to maintain only a minimum possible inventory because of inventory holding costs and opportunity cost of funds invested in inventories. Third is controlled investment in inventories and keep it at the optimum level. Inventory management therefore should be a strike balance between too much inventory and too little inventory. The efficient management and effective control of inventories help in achieving better operational results and reducing investment in working capital. It has a significant influence on the profitability of a concern.
Inventory control. The inventory control is concerned with the acquisition, storage, handling, and the use of inventories so as to ensure the availability of inventory whenever it is needed. Hence, we can say that inventory control refers to a system which ensures the supply of required quantity and quality of inventory at right time and at the same time preventing the unnecessary investment in the inventory. Inventory control is the most vital phase of material management. It can make or break a company. Sometimes, inventory are also called the graveyard of a business. Controlling the inventory is done by designing a sound inventory control system that helps to maintain a balance between too much and too little. The efficiency of inventory control affects the flexibility of the business. Insufficient produce of control leads to the unbalanced inventory. Here, unbalanced inventory means some items are out of stock and others are overstocked. The less efficient inventory control leads to the greater investment in the inventory, which reduces the profit. Let us now discuss some techniques that helps in inventory control. The first technique is ABC analysis of inventories, which means divide the inventory into category A, B and C, in which category A has items of high value and slow moving. In category B, the items have low value and are fast moving. In category C, the items are average valued and average moving. Here, this helps in easily tracking of the inventory. There is more focus on category A type of items because to maintain these category, there is a hidden cost. So, we have to clear the first category of the items first. The second is set the reorder level of every product in the inventory. Here reorder means the value of the quantity of the product at which the reorder is necessary to prevent from being out of stock. Third technique is follow FIFO principle. Here FIFO means first in, first out. The produce which comes first in the inventory should be sold first so that every time our inventory gets fresh products and only fresh products are sold. It helps to clear out the most perishable products or items from the stock. Also reduces the risk of getting high purchasing cost. For example, if I have purchased a product at rupees 500 each item and I have stocked it for longer time, then there is a chance that the market price of that product may decrease. That will cause me a less profit or even loss. The fourth technique is know your carrying cost. Carrying cost means a total expense on an item in the inventory. Here I want to mention that carrying cost is not equal to purchasing cost. Carrying cost also include the hidden cost, which is up to 20% of the purchasing cost. For example, we have purchased 200 bread packets of 30 rupees each, excluding its transport charge. but we have to store that bread in the inventory in a specific temperature using ACs and coolers. So here the carrying cost of each bread packet is not 30, it is more than 30. And the last technique is adopt drop shipping. It is a new concept in which our inventory cost becomes zero. Yes, zero. In this, we don't have to maintain any inventory or do not have to ship anything because the main cost consuming part in inventory is the maintenance and shipping. In this, we only have to take the order and get its payment. And now we have to make order and payment to the supplier. And at last, the supplier will ship the product to the consumer.
Pricing of raw materials. So what happens in pricing of raw materials is that we have to decide the received price that should be adopted for valuing the materials requisition. So there are some points to be considered. The first one is first in, first out. So whatever the material we have received first will be issued first. The price of the earliest consignment or the first consignment is taken first. Okay. So when the first consignment is exhausted, the price of the next consignment means the second consignment is adopted. The second is last in, first out. Whatever the material we have received in last will be issued first. So it's the opposite of the first one. Okay. So the price of the last consignment is considered at the first one. And also this point is the same as like first one. So when the last consignment is exhausted, the price of the second last consignment is adopted. And the list goes on. Third is weighted average cost method. Material issued is priced at the weighted average cost of material in stock. Fourth is standard price method. Under this method, a standard price is predetermined. So it's like whatever the difference is occurring in standard and actual price results in materials price variance. Fifth is current price. Material issue is priced at their replacement at the time of issue. Next, perpetual inventory system. Method of inventory control is the maintenance of inventory control on a continuous basis. This is really an important step here. So whatever the material we are receiving in our store, the main important work of storekeeper is to arrange all the items in the allotted rack or bin, and also attach a card for making entries, because this card is really important because that will become the perpetual inventory record for each and every item. The perpetual inventory is a continuous record of the balance in the store, and method is called perpetual inventory system. And also, the main important thing is that perpetual inventory record has to be done in physical quantity but not in value. So there are two inventory system, I would say, in perpetual inventory. The first one is periodical inventory. The second one is continuous inventory. So what happens in periodical inventory is that the evaluation of the stock or consignment or material is done once in a year, which is in the end of the year. So there are some disadvantages of the periodical inventory. The first one is we have to close the store at the time of taking the stock. Okay. Second is discrepancies cannot be corrected at the time they occur, because we are not evaluating the stock or material multiple times in a year, because we are doing it once in a end of the year. Third is surprise verification is not possible. Fourth is reason for discrepancies cannot be evaluated as the long interval between the consecutive verification we have talked about. Second one is continuous stock verification. So what happens here that we evaluate the stock or material or consignment multiple times in a year. So there are some advantage of that over periodical inventory. The first one is each and every item can be checked number of times in a year. Second is necessary adjustments can be made easily. Third is discrepancies easily located and corrected. Fourth is ensures reliable check on stores. Fifth is ensures secrecy of the items that are verified. Sixth is there is no need to close the store at the time of surprise. What we have to do in periodical inventory, we have to close the store at the time we are taking the stocking. But in the continuous stock verification or in continuous inventory system, we do not have to close the store at the time of taking the stock in or any surprise.